Lovely greetings and a very, very, very gracious and a very amazing, very productive show with my great guest. And if I talk about my great, vulnerable, and a very potential, very resourceful, amazing guest, then you have to check out this video. Here is my guest from Singapore, Thomas Hoon. Welcome to our show, and it's been a great privilege and honor for me to host you today.
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Supriya. Is happy to be back on this show again. This is the second time I probably have spoken to you, and I'm excited to be here.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, already I had hosted Thomas Hoon, but his life journey is so special, which you are going to discover and explore in this journey. So I am so excited and I am so privileged and honored to start this journey with Thomas. So, Thomas, without wasting a moment, without any delay, without any pause, let's enlighten the world with your very inspiring, which only I know your life journey in my last podcast, but still, people, global educators would love to know who is actual Thomas Hoon.
Excellent. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here on this show hosted by Dr. Supriya. And it's my pleasure to be sharing my life story, to share some of the lessons that I learned from my life journey, my career to my audience. So I'm happy to be here for the next 30 minutes telling my story. So, who is Thomas Hoon? Thomas Hoon, basically, I'm the youngest of the three brothers, growing up in the middle class. And growing up in the middle class was actually fun for me because my dad, in my perspective, was a big deal. He is actually a chief rehabilitation officer with the Singapore Prisons Office, Singapore Prison Service. He was always surrounded by interesting people, fellow prison officers, chaplains, custodial staff, and I actually got to tag along with some of his officer gatherings. So imagine listening to all these corrective officers thinking about rehabilitation of prisoners, talking about how to deal with rebellious staff. And I'm actually listening to all this when I was 5 years old. That was actually wow. I learned a lot about prison life without needing to commit a crime from the prisoner's perspective, from the officer's perspective. So it was exciting for me. My mom, on the other hand, was the queen of the house. She kept everything running smoothly, making sure me and my brothers are well fed and generally not causing too much trouble. But a family of three guys, what do you expect? We are trouble. So of course, being an Asian mom, taking of taking care of us meant something else. It meant that a cane is never too far away. Let's just say that I move faster even before she can actually bring out the cane. My pastime, I've loved being outside, kicking a ball with older guys in the neighborhood. When I wasn't doing that, I was glued to my Apple II computer. I was very lucky to have access to a computer at the age of 5. So I spent a lot of my time, losing in the fantasy worlds of the computer, hacking and slashing dragons, managing my virtual football team. Looking back, I think it was exciting times. It was great times because I have a proper childhood in which I'm proud to tell kids these days. As far as I know, a lot of parents these days send their children to classes, and children doesn't have a lot of time or a lot of free or private time to them. So I'm happy that I have a good childhood. Primary school was a mix of everything. I met people of all sorts of life, and I learned to hang out with people. So my best friends were actually people from other races, Indians and Malays. I was known as a kid who never shut up. So I'm always asking questions, always chatting in class. I was, to a certain extent, talking too much in class that my teachers probably thought that I have some sort of ADHD or something equivalent. So to keep me quiet, being quite a tall guy during my age, I was always sitting right in front of the class. My secondary school was a bit more exciting. So growing up, I wasn't known to be studious. I always spending time on basketball courts, and if not, grinding up my characters on my computer. So you can either find me at home grinding, playing computer games, or on a basketball court or a football field. But during my secondary school days, there are life lessons I learned too. I was fortunately or unfortunately a victim of bullying. I was picked on, beaten up by three bigger guys for irritating them. Because I told you I'm very talkative. Maybe that's the reason why they want to beat me up. But to be honest, I was glad it happened to me. It taught me a lesson to be strong in life. It taught me a lesson to be street smart in life. So if I ever have a chance of meeting them again now, I will head up to them and shake their hands and thank them. Seriously. I also got my first leadership role as a sports instructor during my secondary school days, guiding my juniors through a series of extracurricular extracurricular activities and exercises. So school life was extremely fun with all these activities. My timetable is always filled. So my weekends, basketball court, computer games, friends. But then suddenly there was a moment of realization. My results are actually getting from bad to worse. I realized that if my wayward ways going to continue, I might not have a proper future. Hence, I quit playing games. I start focusing on my academic. I was really studying very, very hard. Even my parents noticed a change in my character, from a hot-headed, rebellious young kid to a kid that spends so much time in his books. Came O levels, my results surprised all my teachers and my classmates. I came out as one of the top in the school, and that good behavior and good streak didn't stop. As I also came out as one of the top in my diploma, which I undertook with a local polytechnic, as well as I was invited to a dean list because I was the best in class for my bachelor's. So that 1.0 transformation is complete. From a lazy student to achiever. Then I went on to national service. For my audience, basically all the males in Singapore need to serve the nation. So I was serving the Navy for 2.5 years. And after serving the nation for 2.5 years, I was ready for my new adventure in the corporate world. Corporate world wise, I started up my journey in a startup. During those times, we are talking about having a website, create some interesting contents, try to attract people to come to your website and read your contents. And after you have the eyeballs, you can go for IPO. As simple as it sounds, but life isn't that simple. When I joined a startup, of course, it's glamorous. People say, hey, you're a startup, so you're going to be a millionaire. Please bring me along when you're a millionaire. But to be honest, it's not that way. It's all about hard work. It taught me the lesson of running a business. There isn't a free role within an organization. An organization exists for the purpose of generating revenue. In this startup that I work for, salaries are always late. So I might be getting half a month later or 1 month later. But do I have any regrets? To be honest, looking back, no. Because there was plenty of opportunities for me to learn and grow in this role. As a 20 plus year old young adult, there was so much exposure I'm actually getting on the job. I was talking to C-suites at this stage, from local telcos, radio stations, media companies. Then came my first big break. Our hard work and our company attracted the attention of Economic Development Board of Singapore. And eventually, we got funding from them to form a JV with a provincial agency in Korea. This is to develop and localize and export Korean contents. So we were right at the start of our K-pop invasion, and I was leading a team to digitalize the Korean contents and export them to the rest of the world. So I really spent a lot of time in Korea during those days. But after 3 years in the company, I actually left the startup when I was headhunted to join an MNC because the attractiveness of the role, the opportunity to lead a team, a much bigger team, was too much for me to say no. So I spent another decade diving into the world of MNCs, leading sales team all over APAC. I had the privilege of driving more than $100 million in sales in my entire career. I've also worn many hats from understanding corporate structures to building relationships across different cultures all over Asia. I have the privilege of working for companies from different countries: US, UK, Dutch, Finland, Israel, Japanese, Korean, and Thai. I spent most of my time chasing numbers, flying up to 50 weeks in a year, and meeting up and connecting people all over APAC. I was also spending 14 years overseas, 3 years in Bangkok, 11 years in China and counting. I love meeting people, experiencing new things, building things, traveling, singing, jamming over my guitar, and during my free time, I'm also a business mentor for Nanyang Polytechnic in Singapore and GBA International Youth Entrepreneurship Hub in Guangzhou.
Wow. I mean, this is called a powerful, a very inspiring, and a very motivating journey. Thomas, really, I can say yes. Your life was just like success is to flow like water through a road of rocks. So I really,
Yep,
really appreciate your inner strength, your willpower, because that's what had made you today. Because facing all the hurdles of your life, all the challenges in your life was not that easy, but you made everything very simple, very crisp, and very in an easy form. You just crossed everything. So I really appreciate your qualities, I really appreciate your determination, and trust me, you are inspiring today on the platform of KUDOS Latte show with my coffee to move forward and never ever give up on your dreams. Well,
definitely.
that was about Thomas' life journey. But Thomas, I am sure in everybody's life, I mean, whether it's you, me, or everyone, one must have faced that challenge which shook you up, which had given you 100-volt charge or something like that. Did in your life any incident happen or any challenge you encountered that really shook, chilling spine bones, you can say? So kindly enlighten us, and how did you overcome that particular challenge? So it will be
Sure,
great to know. Yeah.
sure. Life is never a smooth journey. If anybody tell me that their life is smooth journey, so they are probably having good karma this life. So for me, I'm used to be all about climbing corporate ladder. That was my world. Everything else, my health, my relationship, took a back seat. So I sacrificed it all for the next big deal, that particular promotion. It was high pressure game. I was winning most of the times. I racked up lots of sales awards. But to be honest, inside I was feeling empty. I was really burning out. I feel highly stressed and it feels like this pressure is killing me. But if that is bad, then it came the other biggest shock of my life. Something that you wouldn't expect it would happen to me or you or anybody else. I was diagnosed with cancer. My world shattered. Not only I was fighting for my life, but I was going through at the same period a divorce. It was like a double whammy. So I lost everything: my health, my marriage, and most importantly, my purpose of life. Fear and doubt actually took over. And let me tell you, I was also working in a very toxic environment during those days. All this didn't help, it just basically stacked up. It was a complete disaster. But something incredible happened to me. I found solace in Buddhism, the idea of living in a moment and understanding that everything changes. That shifted my perspective. I started questioning what I was really after. Is it this endless chase of success that is bringing me happiness? Eventually, I discovered a strength I never knew I had. Religion showed me a different way to live my life. It's about being kind, being mindful, living with integrity, and meditation became my anchor. It really helped me find peace and focus. I started caring more about others and wanting to make a difference. It was like a rebirth for me. And with amazing support from my family, friends, and doctors, I beat cancer. It was the hardest battle I ever faced, but I came out stronger with a whole new appreciation of life. And since 2013, I've been cancer free. No doubt it's been a journey filled with pain, but it's also a journey filled with incredible growth on how I bounce back on my life. Yep.
Thomas, I don't have any words left. The word cancer, when anybody will say, we will just get freeze, what to do next, because it's a life threatening disease. That's what everybody know that. And now, I mean, a moment before I was just appreciating your vigor, your strength, your determination on the basis of your your inspiring journey. But now when I just heard that you are a fighter for and you're a survivor of cancer, I am just, I'm lost my senses. Wow, this much caliber. And I loved the way when you just maintain your meditation, you just had a hope in your life, you had a trust in your life. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when you trust your Lord, no matter what religion you belong, but really miracles do happen when you start believing in yourself, when you start believing in your system, because every cell will regenerate, every cell will get a lot of positive vibes when you will be positive from inside and with the blessing of your Lord. So Thomas, really hats off to you for overcoming this dreadful disease, and you are a fighter. That's what the lovely message you are giving to the world today. So this is really amazing. This is really great. And coffee for you. Great
Cheers.
one. This is
Cheers.
awesome one. Yeah. Well, this was all about Thomas' life journey, his very a fighter attitude, and winner of the life from all the phases of her life. Just I want to know one thing. We are talking about your work that you have done, the business growth in China and overseas. Now this is the time where everybody is so excited what exactly Thomas does and what is his business adventures, collaborations. So let's talk about Thomas business collaborations, adventures, and how sales growth. He's doing a miraculous job, so let's focus on this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, originally I was from Singapore, so I have 24 years of experience in APAC tech and telco sales. So in 2013, I was sent to China by my company to focus on opening up the market for them. So I was spending a lot of time there, and I was dealing with a lot with all these handset companies. So in 2015, one of my customers actually asked me, "Hey Thomas, you have so many connections, you have so many ideas. Why don't you run your own business?" So let me put me in a perspective. I actually took a long time to think about his this question. So I asked them, if I'm going to start my business, will you be able to support me? And my customer just say, of course, why not? You're my friend. So with that answer, basically, I'm on my journey of setting up a business. I took the leap of faith and dived into the crazy world of entrepreneurship in China. And to be honest, when I set up this business, it was actually my second startup, but it was hell of a ride because I managed to work with some of the biggest companies in the world. I was working with people like Google, I was working with people like Yahoo, Amazon, Facebook, Xiaomi, Baidu, Tencent, Alibaba, and many others. I'm actually serving as a bridge between the Western and the East and the Chinese companies because during those times there's a lot of challenges on the sanctions, a lot of challenges of projects going through each other. So I was helping them to smooth this process. And did I say the second startup? Because believe it or not, I've actually started four companies from scratch and bootstrapping them with my own company because I always believe in putting my money where my mouth is. So my first venture was actually a community for electric unicycle. We began a breeding we became a breeding ground for electric unicycle enthusiasts, growing into the world's largest electric unicycle community and at one time 5,000 over members in Singapore. We are also Singapore's largest online electric unicycle store. So our work accumulated into unforgettable experience like performing for 30,000 strong audience in a Chingay street parade for 5 consecutive years. But this company is between 2013 and unfortunately in 2019, I have to close this company down because of changing regulations in Singapore with regards to ownership of such devices. So I also ventured into the world of fintech in my third startup. I was actually consulting for a cryptocurrency company in China, but upon finding out the details of this project and which I found extremely interesting, so we did a JV investor in the company and started building a cryptocurrency exchange in Philippines. We managed to be awarded the converted virtual currency license by the central bank in Philippines, BSP, in a record 9 months. Everybody else did it in 3 years, but we did it in 9 months. But for all those good news, I also have bad news because unfortunately, this venture didn't ended up well. I took huge losses in millions and I have to shut down the business for good during COVID. Currently, I'm also founded a new company that focuses in immersive learning. I believe in focus in shaping the future of learning in a world increasingly dominated by AI. Because everybody say, oh, want to do project? Let's just consult ChatGPT. Want to submit a test assignment? Just consult ChatGPT. I don't believe learning can be done in those kind of environment. So I believe that with a real life immersive experience is very crucial because immersive learning basically you go and visit a company, you go and visit schools, you go and talk to people, you learn about the management system, you learn about the culture. This is how learning should be. Immersive learning offers a deeper and more engaging way to learn, helping people to develop essential skills in a more practical way, in a more memorable way, in a real world environment. So I was hoping that this company can help bring more people, especially with so much uncertainty with AI, into the world of learning.
Wow, this is really great and very depth knowledge you have shared, Thomas. And here I would love to draw the attention of my global viewers audience. Kindly connect with Thomas. He has a great, vast oceanic knowledge about sales growth. And you can see the business basically depends upon your sales, your marketing strategies. And I think the best strategist is with us today, Thomas Hoon. So grab the golden opportunity. Why to wait? Why to waste your single time? Kindly connect with him. He's there on Facebook, he's there on LinkedIn, and make your life meaningful, wonderful, successful, and a very, very prosperous one. So, hats off to you, Thomas, again, when I don't have any hats, but still, the gratitude is always for you, for your success, for your fighter attitude, and for your great, inspiring life journey. I really appreciate your each and every step of your life, your each and every greatness, your each and every efforts, and most important, your dedication and hard work that has made you today a great, a wonderful, a very strong person of this world. So thank you so much for inspiring everyone today. And yes, we are getting lot of comments from May Raju. You can see here, and she is just showering the blessings for Thomas and his inspiring life journey. So thank you so much, May Raju, for appreciating Thomas' life journey. And yes, he is doing miraculous job, and we all are doing, and we all love this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, this is the time. Now I would love to know, Thomas, about us, and that is, what is your opinion about kiddos miracles? So anything which comes straight to your heart, from your heart, just say this.
Um, hmm. Actually, I've spoken many times to Matt, Matt Allen. I've spoken many times to Lydia. I've also spoken to you. I kind of like what Kudos Miracles represents because to me, Kudos Miracles paints a picture of a world that desperately needed help. One where we, the people, hold the reins to our destiny. Actually, it's a vision that resonates deeply, especially the call to arms for humanity that is tired of being a passive spectator to our own story. So I admire you guys for the emphasis on people power. Of course, to me, it's a radical departure from the usual top-down models that have dominated our societies for centuries. So in a world that's increasing complex and interconnected, working together is no longer an option. I believe we should work together as human beings, uh, especially when we are talking about things which concern our own future. But of course, you have a very hard road ahead of you because scaling up on a global movement is no small feat. Challenges, no doubt, will arise just like any other business, any other things that you do. But it's the ability that we able to adapt and overcome that will be extremely crucial. And despite all this, I believe your team has the potential to be a powerful force of good. It's a movement that speaks and resonates with our deepest hopes and aspirations.
This is a really, 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 Thomas, great feedback. Lovely, lovely. You can say a great feedback, lovely feedback, and yes, an inspiring feedback, which will motivate us to do better, 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 and create more miracles. So, thank you so much, Thomas, for inspiring everyone today. Even you have inspired me. Yes, when you fought with your dreadful disease and you just came out with a very strong person. So, God bless you and give more power and more happiness and more success to you. Well, this is not the end. We are going to see a very, very great, enthusiastic round that is called Rapid the Fire round. And yes, are you ready for this round? Because I am so excited.
Of course, always ready.
All right. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the round which says, what are the three things you can't live without?
Hmm. Three things.
Yep.
My guitar, because my guitar is something in which I turn to whenever I'm stressed. Whenever too tired from work or too stressed, I'll just take my guitar and just play it, strum it along. That's number one. Uh, Number two will be I really enjoy meeting people. If you're gonna put me in a room and lock me up for 100 days, I think I'll die. I'd rather commit suicide. So I love meeting people. So don't ever. put me in a situation in which I have to stay in an island or stay in a room fixated in that position. And
Great
the,
one.
the last thing
So,
is, uh, I live to eat. So I enjoy cuisines, all different kind of cuisines, Chinese, Thai, Indian. I love eating. I love trying out new things. So if you want to invite me, please invite me to join up for dinner so we can enjoy food together.
awesome. This is really making some great sense. All right. Which one is Thomas' favorite coffee?
Favorite coffee? That'll be
Yeah.
cappuccino.
Oh, great one, cappuccino. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Well, how do you define yourself in one word? One word for Thomas.
positivity.
Okay. That's cool. That's great. All right. Who is your role model of your life?
Um, to be honest, it'll be my father because he taught
Nice.
me everything about how to be a proper person, how to help out people whenever we can. Unfortunately, I also lost him in May, so it was a difficult time for me during that period because he's my hero and he's my role
Okay.
model.
Great one. Last but not least, which is your favorite sports?
Oh, definitely football. I've been playing football since the age of 5. I play in amateur leagues in Singapore, a champion few times. I also play in amateur leagues for my customers in China. So it's
Awesome.
definitely my favorite sport of all time.
Superb one. And this for Thomas for playing very well, for answering very promptly all the questions. So great applaud for you, Thomas. And I
Thank
loved
you
your
very much.
answers. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your love, support, and once again, from the bottom core of my heart, thanks to Thomas for inspiring, for always being the best leader, because I really respect Thomas for his great leadership and for his awesome vigor, strength, and determination. So, God bless you, Thomas, and thank you so much for coming to our show. It's been I really loved every moment of this, and especially the rapid fire round. Awesome one, great one.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Nice.
much.
Good night. Bye bye.
Well, bye bye, ladies and gentlemen, for loving us, cheering us. So, always stay happy and always smile. Thank you so much.